PhD program. If you apply, you guys are applying for master or PhD program in Cambridge, then you need to look at this lah, because this is a scholarship on just for Malaysian. I need to emphasize just for Malaysians. So it means that people of other nationalities, they cannot apply to this scholarship. It is set up by the government of Malaysia to commemorate 100 years since the Tunku Abdul Rahman arrived in Cambridge. And St. Catherine College is the alma mater of our founding Prime Minister Tunku Abdul Rahman. Here I just mentioned a fun fact. The one who designs our constitution is also a St. Cat's alumni whom the Tunku met at St. Catherine College. So the one who founded Malaysia is Tunku Abdul Rahman. The one who drafted Malaysia Constitution also from St. Catherine College. And now we have a scholarship that commemorate Malaysia achievement whatever at St. Catherine College. So please just apply. We need more candidates. So this scholarship is open to all Malaysians, as I say, in the development of humanity and social sciences. And I'm sorry about sciences or engineering students, because there are a lot more scholarship for science and engineering at Cambridge, like Gates Scholarship and like Harding Scholarship. Guys can apply to that. But humanity and social sciences are usually the one that need funding, because there are not many scholarships. So this is a rare opportunity. I hope for those who are applying in humanity and social sciences, please do consider Cambridge. So it usually sponsors at least 1 3-year scholarship to outstanding Malaysian students, or 1 year MPhil scholarship, means the master scholarship, right? And the scholarship will be providing full fees and maintenance. Basically, you can live happily here. So I'm living happily here right now. You see, every day enjoying good food and also cheaper prices at their college canteen. Sometimes they cook some Malay curry chicken, also roti canai sometimes have, but it's not a Malaysian style. They sometimes call it Singaporean roti canai. I'm a bit annoyed, but it's fine. It makes me feel home. So the subjects that you can apply to are quite broad, in a sense that you can also apply to African studies. I don't know why, but they include African studies, archaeology, anthropology. I just read out architecture and history of art, Asian and Middle Eastern studies, classic, criminology, development studies, which is my subject, divinity, economics. I just pause here for a while because I know development studies also have students who are looking at Malaysia, and also some Malaysian friends, not Malaysian friends, actually it's a friend who is in my department studying about Malay elites and politics in Malaysia, but she's from China. So just says the diversity of people who are interested in Malaysian study, they come to Cambridge, so you can join them and discuss about, if you want to study about Malaysia, you can also discuss with this a lot of friends who are also interested in these subjects. Divinity, I just continue, divinity, economics, education, English, geography, history and philosophy of science, land economy is more like urban planning, Latin American studies, law, modern and medieval languages, music, philosophy, politics and international studies, and sociology. Basically, it's so what? Okay, basically just apply, and preference will be given to candidates whose research is of particular relevance to Southeast Asia. On this note, I know another Malaysian scholar. The reason why there's 1 year there's no scholar, because the one who got the Tunku actually is also the one who got the Gates Cambridge. So in the sense that I think she got Gates Cambridge gives them broader network to access the scholar network in the US. So it's a different scholarship altogether. So she's looking at the history of sexuality and also colonial power in colonial Kedah in the 1920s. You also have people looking at different period of time in colonial history or modern history. Yeah, depends on what you're interested in. Also have modern law, like our constitution and all these things. So we have quite a few scholars actually studying Malaysia or Malay studies. So depends on whether you're interested in this area or you're interested in different areas. And in our college, we have a Tunku director. So the Tunku director will take care of us. And if you have any problem, you are facing challenges, you just talk to her. She can give you counseling. And if you need money, sometimes if you want to go for field work, or you just want to go to somewhere to do your research, you can apply for it. We have up to £5,000 on top of your scholarship. When you apply, usually you'll get it. I don't think you wouldn't get it. Yeah, as long as you are in. And we have a master who are interested in building more connection with Malaysia. He is asking more Malaysians to apply basically to the college. So in order to be considered for the scholarship, you must name, this is a very important technical requirement. Some people maybe fail to do this, and that's why they can't get a scholarship. You need to name St. Catherine College as your first or second choice. The reason is because of technicality of the Tunku being a member of the college long time ago. So in your application form, they actually will ask you which college you want to go. You just click St. Catherine College. And the second choice or first choice lah, you just put any other college lah. Then by the time you apply, you need to hold an admission, offer an admission. Means that you need to apply and get an offer first before you can submit to this scholarship. But I heard from my director saying that actually the moment you apply, you can already submit your application lah. You don't have to wait for offer. Yeah, so at least let them know first. So when you get the offer letter, they can immediately proceed your application for consideration. Okay, so this is the form that I'm referring right now. It's like a copy of your application, of course. When you click submitted your application form for the University of Cambridge in general to your courses, so they will generate a PDF form. So that's the thing that you need to submit to this Tungku committee. Okay, and the transcript of your any further degree, it means that your degree and your master, if you have a master degree, so you have to submit your grades, research proposal, if you need a research proposal. If, for example, if you're doing a PhD, you must have a research proposal. But if you're doing a master, that is not required. So what is required is maybe a personal statement. Okay. So your letter of admission, okay, offer is afterwards. Then a copy of your current CV, write a CV. So you have to look for 2 referees from your academic institutions, previous academic institution, like maybe your uni lah. Your referees need to write a strong reference letters to the Tungku committee. So here's the form lah. You can just take a look. It's available on the website. You just go there and just have a look lah. Oh, when you apply for PhD, you need to have a nominated supervisor. So they have to know who they are. But if you're applying for a master, I think this is not needed lah, but that depends on the course that you apply. So I think that's pretty much from me. Nothing much to say other than Cambridge is quite a happy place for me. I'm quite happy cycling every day. So I will pass the slide back to Jaren.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think this is an amazing opportunity for those that are interested in this scholarship. So if you are interested in this scholarship, please do apply. And if you have any question, I believe Jiyoung is very happy to help, right? So I will move on to our next speaker, Samantha. Perhaps you can introduce yourself.
All right. Thank you, Jared. Hi, everyone. I'm Samantha. I'm currently a first-year law student at the University of Florida. And at the same time, I'm also the recipient of the Global Excellence Scholarship that is actually provided by the university. All right. So just a very brief introduction. Brief overview of the scholarship is that for this scholarship, there are 3 types. So under Global Excellence Scholarship, it's like a very big scope, right? So under 3, we have 3 different amounts of value of scholarship that they will provide students. So the first one is £2,000. So for £2,000, I think it's just like I think 150 students will get this £2,000 if you're being selected. And for the 50% one, I think it's 75 students will be awarded 50%. And for 100% one will be just 15 students. So how they will actually select the students is that they will actually pick this globally. So they will actually pick international students, and there isn't actually any restriction in terms of the cost. So what I got was the partial scholarship. So I would say that partial scholarship is really it's actually quite very useful, really very useful, because like my school fees is actually the same with the local students are paying. So I'm actually paying the same school fees as how the local students are paying in terms of crowd. So I think it's actually quite good, and the application process I would say is actually quite simple. All right, when I tell me as simple, it doesn't mean that it's not competitive to get the scholarship, because it's still competitive to get the scholarship. All right, so for the application, what you need to do is that you need to submit your UCAS and get an offer first. So you need to get an offer first, and after you get the offer, then only you can apply for the scholarship. So it's not that so you can't actually apply the scholarship before you get the offer. So after you get the offer and after you get the offer, you can actually apply to the scholarship. But I'm not too sure about how it's going to work in the future, because for this scholarship, the university will actually send you an email to ask you to apply. So which means that it's actually not can't be accessed by the public, like through website, something like that. So you have to wait for the university to send you that link first, or like that website, only you can apply for it. So for the application stages, you have to write an essay. So write an essay. I think it's just like it's a very short essay, honestly speaking. It's just like 4,000 characters. It's not words but characters. So it's roughly like 500 to 600 of words. So you just have to answer briefly like, oh, what did you do and why do you deserve to get this scholarship? For the next question is that for the second question, they will ask if you are not awarded this scholarship, where are you going to study? So this is actually not an essay, it's just like a very short question, so you just have to answer them honestly. And for the last question, what they ask, if I recall, okay, if I remember correctly, is that they ask other than Global Excellence Scholarship that is provided by the university, which scholarship did you actually apply? So for me, because I'm in my first year, so I applied last year. So I got an offer a day after I got my A-levels result. So all right, so for the requirement for Warwick Law School, right, is that you have to get A star AA and no LNET is needed. So which means that you don't actually have to do the admission test, because I know like for London universities, you have to do LNET test except for Queen Mary University. And competitive personal statement, and I believe you will get the offer. So I got that around in like January. In terms of, yeah, I got the offer in January, and in May they asked me to apply for the scholarship. So I actually waited for like 4 months to ask them to let them send me an email to ask me to apply, and I got the results in 3 weeks time. So by end of May, then I received the email from them. All right, so I would say the terms and conditions by Warwick is actually very good. So they didn't write that explicitly to say that you have to get like second upper or first class to secure your 3 years scholarship. They just said that you have to make like satisfactory progression or like positive progression in your academic studies. And like you have to pay your fees before a certain like the deadline, which is actually very general. And yeah, I would say, and the most important thing is that you are actually not required to bond with the university. So which means that you can actually just do anything you want. Like maybe if you're doing law, you wanted to do like LLM or bar, you can just proceed with it. You don't actually have to work for Warwick for like let's say 3 to 5 years, not even a year. So you can actually just graduate and you can just leave the university, or maybe you want to stay in Warwick to proceed with your LLM, that's fine as well. So I would say it's very flexible. And I would say like to get this scholarship is actually quite competitive, because we actually had a celebration after we were admitted to the university in like last year October, and we had a party for all scholars, right? And I would say everyone is just so competitive, and like everyone has a very strong CV. Okay, so I'm going to talk briefly on like what did I do for me to get this scholarship, because I think that's very important. Okay, first thing first, I think is just to get just to have a very strong academic. Like let's say if the requirement is like A star AA, right? So I have to get beyond that. So for me personally, I got 2 A star and 1 A for my A-levels, and I I did quite a lot of things besides academic. Okay, so I actually did a legal internship right after I finished my A-levels in a law firm. So I would say like the size of the law firm is actually not important at all, as long as you actually have a very good experience and like you have practical skills. So I think that will be very sufficient already. And like and the second thing I did was to get involved myself in to an NGO. So I was actually the director of operations of Wakan Tutor. So this is also the place where I met Jaren, because she's in operations team as well. So we actually knew each other beforehand. Yeah, and the third thing that I did was to okay, I mean like this is actually depends on your personal preference, because but for me I actually did I was actually a political volunteer with DAP Malaysia and Seputeh constituency. So because in 2022, right, we actually had our 50th general election. So I actually worked for them for 3 months during pre and post GE. The reason why I was only volunteering there was because I was actually having my A2 exam as well. So I can't actually work there every single day. Yeah, so but I would say that if you really wanted to get yourself involved in like politics or like legal industry, you can actually try to join. I mean like I would say it's not easy to get a legal internship, especially when you are not exposed to yourself in like the undergraduate studies, because and especially if you didn't actually take A-levels law. Yeah, it's actually quite difficult because for me as well, I think I find it quite difficult for me to secure an internship right after my A-levels. Even even I did A-levels law. Yeah, because they of course firms will actually prefer students who are in like their year 2 or year 3 of law studies instead of like or just A-levels, right? Yeah, so I think you can just try, no harm to try. Yeah, it's just a number game. Like try to call or just email them your CV, cover letter to express your interest to work for them. So I think you definitely get something actually. And other than that, I would say like is to uh and okay, coming back to my experience, besides that, I actually attended a winter school in the UK, when I was in my secondary school. I would say that the winter school is actually not relevant to law because I actually went to a music winter school, which is called Yehudi Menuhin School in Surrey, England. So I actually did that, and I also had some performances in international competitions and like piano performance. I mean, like I actually performed in like UK, China, mainland China and Hong Kong, China as well, and Taiwan, China. Yeah, so I think like that's actually how you get yourself a lot of exposure and gain different type of knowledge. So I would say like getting exposure is important, but it's actually like you shouldn't rigid to your own particular course as well. So let's say if you are going to do law, it doesn't mean that everything you do needs to be related to law. You can do different things like what I did. Like I did politics, I did volunteering, and I was actually active in piano performance, things like that. Yeah, so I would say like don't limit yourself and just do anything that you like because I feel like UK universities are actually quite um how I say this but I think they actually prefer students who are really well developed in different areas instead of just like studying. Yeah, so I think like get involved in different things, extracurriculars, and join a lot of competitions that definitely help. Yeah, because like I would say like getting two A star, one A is okay, but it's not like excellent because I didn't get like three A stars. But I would say I believe that the reason why I got this scholarship is because I did extra things. Just it's not just academic because I did other things to back up or like to help myself as well. Yeah, so this is what I'm going to share. Yeah, hope that this can help others as well. So if you're going to apply to Warwick, just keep an eye for your email because they may actually send you the notification to apply the scholarship anytime like after you got the offer. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Samantha. I think it's really like useful insight from you, and I believe everyone enjoyed that. I don't think a lot of people know that actually university they do offer a scholarship beside the corporate scholarship that we already know. So yeah, like Samantha said, if you got an offer from Warwick, please keep an eye on your email and apply if you are eligible for that. So I will pass the mic to Amiru to introduce yourself.
Hi, can you see me?
Yeah, we can.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
All right, so hi everyone. My name is Amir Haikal. I'm studying economics and data analytics. I'm a first year at the University of Manchester, and I am currently a recipient of the Malaysia Development Bank Scholarship. So I know it's not a very popular scholarship and it's not a very popular bank in Malaysia. So what is MDB? What is BPMB? So essentially, Malaysia Development Bank or Bank Pembangunan Malaysia Berhad is a government-owned bank. Primarily, it gives loans to companies for projects, mostly on infrastructure. And if you know SME Bank, it's like under BPMB. So basically, MDB is the bigger picture of loan financing towards company SMEs in Malaysia and long-term project financing. So there are many departments in BPMB, MDB. One of them is corporate investment banking, strategic investments and private equity, credit, audit, you can just name it. So the segment for today's for CollegeLAH Talk, I'll be giving tips on how to tackle your group interview. During my application, because I didn't get a scholarship after my SPM. So I did my A levels, and post A levels, I got a scholarship. So I applied to many scholarships and I got a few offers. One of them is Sime Dhabi, Mara, and MARA and BPMB, of course. So how do you tackle such a critical stage during an interview? So first and foremost, what differentiates individual interview and a group interview? In a sense, individual interview is more focused on showcasing who you are.
Sorry, we will dive into the topics later.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah. So
No, I'm
sorry
so
about that.
sorry. So
No,
I'm
no, no,
just
no. It's perfect.
okay.
And thanks for your introduction for BPMP. And yeah, they are Bagus program, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't think a lot of people know that. I am actually a scholar. I received a scholarship from them also, but I didn't.
You didn't accept that?
Yeah, I didn't accept that.
Really?
So
Okay.
yeah, so thanks for your introduction. I think we need to let more people to know about the program. It's amazing.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure. Can I share a screen?
yeah, sure.
I'll try to share. Okay.
Let me make you co-host.
Okay, sure. Okay. So, let me see. Let me see. Um, okay. Open system settings. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Take your time.
Give me a second. So I'll allow this. Sorry, I'm having problems technically. So
Nice.
I'm just going to explain it to you.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, can you see it? No?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, sharing now.
Okay, so essentially, if you want to dive into strategy investments, you want to dive into scholarships, into a corporate life that is more towards banking and lending towards infrastructures and building companies in Malaysia, this is the place for you. So what this scholarship entails, during my year, they give full scholarship, and you will serve for 6 years, bonded afterwards. And of course, during my time as well, they will fund every time I want to go back during summer. They will fund the tickets to go back and come here. So for me, it was a very great deal because I want to do my summer intern during my first year in Malaysia. So they will fund everything. So I think it's a very great deal. So, and if you ask, um and BPMB right now, the HR is wanting to promote more individuals into the scholarship. And because of that, they are trying to give us the most allowance in the UK. If you ask Malaysian students in the UK, in Manchester, for example, they will say the scholarship that gives the most allowance is BPMB. Okay, so essentially that's it, I think. So yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Amiro. I think you are having a good life in Manchester. All right. Thank you for the introduction. So I will move to Juhadeep.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me and can you see
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, clear.
Hi. So good evening everyone and good morning or afternoon wherever you are. So my name is Amir Zulhadif Zakaria and you guys can just call me Hadif. And currently I'm a first year undergrad student at University of Warwick and I'm currently reading economics. And I'm also sponsored fully by Bank Negara Malaysia, Kijang Scholarship. So I'm not sure if this is just an intro for me or like I should talk more about scholarship. Like,
I think you can talk a bit about your scholarship program and yeah.
oh yeah, so basically the process of me getting my scholarship is it begins right after SPM. Like I applied for a scholarship that covers both the pre-uni and also degree. So I got my scholarship right after right after SPM, where I did my A levels in CollegeLAH with Yayasan UEM, also fully sponsored by Bank Negara Malaysia. And then I currently doing my undergrad for 3 years at University of Warwick. But then there's also a scholarship offered to undergraduate scholar and also postgrad, because I knew that some of my friends, they also got a scholarship right after doing A levels or IB, for example. And back then when we started, when I received my scholarship, there was a few requirements that I need to fulfill. First of all is a requirement for me to pass my A levels so that I can continue my study abroad, because they put like 3 A's at least. I need to get 3 A's at least for my A level for me to proceed my study to undergrad. And then even during undergrad itself, I need to get at least second upper class for my degree level so that I can gain so that I can gain full scholarship from it. Or else I'm not sure what's the punishment or what's the additional, like, I'm not sure about that. But then I know that for the PU, if you cannot get 3 A's at least, then there would be a chance for you to not fly, that you cannot study abroad. You probably just need to study local. So what I'm trying to say is that even though after you get your scholarship, there must be some requirement that you need to fulfill throughout your studies. So be aware of that and make sure to monitor all these requirements even after you get the scholarship. And that's why even if you get like a few scholarship, then you have to consider all the pros and cons of each scholarship. Yeah, because sometimes and also the second thing is because Bank Negara Malaysia, they require for us to return and serve the bond with them. And the requirement is that 1 year of studies is equivalent to 2 years of working. So it means that I'm studying for 2 years for A levels and 3 years for undergrad. That means in total, I have to work with the Bank Negara Malaysia for 10 years to serve the bond, because 5 years of studies equivalent to 10 years of working. So those are some things that you guys need to consider when you're applying for scholarship, because when it comes to bonds, some people will say that it is good for you to have bond because that means you have a confirmed job. Like your job is already confirmed right after you study. You don't have to like work hard throughout your degree to find to find like spring break or maybe spring week or like internship, because you have already a confirmed job at the same time. But then some people will say that it is hard for them to commit throughout those years to work at some organization, because some organization, they offer like too long bond, or some of them require only short bonds. So yeah, you guys have to consider all of those things in your application and in your deciding which scholarship are you choosing. And yeah, I think that's all from me for now, I guess. And if you guys have any question, I am open to anyone who has any question. Yeah, that's all from me from now.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Like pros and cons comparison from Hadith. So let's move on to Jocelyn. Yeah.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. So basically I'm gonna talk about individual interview, right?
Yeah, but perhaps you can talk about something like Petronas scholarship. Just a very brief introduction about that. Like
Okay.
your
Thank you, Darren. I'm Jocelyn. And I'm a first year in LSE studying management. Like Darren. Yeah, and I'm actually under Petronas scholarship, which is the Petronas that you pump oil in Malaysia. And it actually sponsored me for my A levels and throughout my degree, like Hadif's Bank Negara scholarship. And I also did my A levels in KYUEM, and it's also similar to Bank Negara scholarship, which you get to apply your UCAS yourself, and there will be like a list for you to adhere to what they like. I mean, Petronas want to your university, and for the Petronas scholarship is actually a group interview, I would say, but the group interview is more like a case study interview. But anyways, I'm gonna talk about individual interview. So for the individual interview, basically like it's quite similar to like a job interview. So it's more like the question they ask is like, oh, please, I mean, the very common ones is please introduce yourself, and like also why we should choose you and why are you pursuing this degree, and why do you intend to apply to a particular scholarship. And I would say also apply for behavioral questions, which is like the very famous STAR method, which is situation, task, action, and your result, which is like a formula for you to formulate your answers, which about the behavioral questions. And for scholarship interviews, I would say, because I have experience in a group interview, I would say please don't dominate the conversation, because normally group interviews you have maybe 3, 4 people with you together in the interview room, and not dominating the interview conversation is very important, because it shows how, I mean, your personality in terms of like, do you give others space to speak or not, and are you a I mean, a person with I don't know, understanding or something? It sort of like shows your personality, and also shows are you a potential employee of the company. I mean, if you're applying for a corporate scholarship. So, and also for individual and group interview, like both of them, it's very important for you to have like a friendly smile on your face also, because I don't know, you don't want to talk to someone with a shit face, right? So yeah, it's very important for you to be friendly. And also when answering the questions, you should always remember the question they ask is aimed to want to assess your competency or like your abilities as a person. So please always remember that you should showcase your competency when you're answering questions, and show that why they should choose you as well, and to stand up among the other candidates. And also, I would actually suggest, like, regardless of whether it's an individual or a group interview, before the interview, you should have a list of your achievements and group them according to skills that you have. Maybe like you have this communication skills, or like you have problem solving skills. Just group them together with your achievements, because there's always like a situation they will ask you, oh, why are you competent, and why should we choose you? So like this list will actually benefit you a lot, and it's also very helpful for you to sort of brainstorm your ideas on the spot, like what skills are fitting to your achievement and what do you learn about it. So it's very beneficial for you to have the list of yourself. And also I would say, because normally interview we would have like a face-to-face or like a physical interview, always take care of your body language, especially in a physical interview, because like your gestures will show whether are you confident or not, or are you um not having self-doubt or something. Like just show that you are confident enough, and don't have like some sort of, yeah, just show that you're confident enough, like according to your gestures, and keep your body open and not closing yourself. And also like, especially when you sit, sit alright, don't just move your legs or something. Be presentable throughout the interview, which will showcase a very good impression to the interviewer. And I would say most of the interviews would use English. unless you're going for like a government scholarship, which is like JPA, they will use like Malay in some situations. But I would say most of the scholarship they would want to assess the potential scholarship holders in English. So yeah, better brush up your English before the interview. And what attire is appropriate? I mean, I would say business attire is the most appropriate one, as what you can see here. I'm actually wearing a business attire. By that I mean for boys, please wear your ties and a blazer, and make sure your blazer and your pants the color match, which don't wear like weird colors lah. And don't wear red, I would say wear neutral colors, which will show like your personality is not really like over dominating or over narcissist. Just wear neutral colors like white or like light blue or something. And make sure your shoes are clean and wear leather shoes if boys you have. And for girls, I would say a blazer is enough and a blouse or maybe like a cardigan or something inside and always wear a blazer. And for girls, the shoes most probably will be like court shoes, I would say. Just dress, or maybe you could wear heels if you can. Um, yeah, which shows that you're professional enough and you're having a good impression to the interviewers. Yeah, I think that's all from me for the interview.
Thank you, Josie. It's like really great tips from you, and I believe the audience here they gain some insight from you to how to attend an interview properly. Can we move on to Huzaifa here? Can you share a bit about yourself and the scholarship you are under?
Sure. Hi, can everyone hear me?
Hi. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Hi, my name is Huzaifa Fakrul Anwar. You can just call me Jepa or Jay. I don't really care. But I'm currently a second year student in computer science at Pennsylvania State University. I'm currently under MARA, the Young Talent Program, MARA Scholarship specifically. But I also have experiences in interviews with PNB, Petronas, and Gazana. I'm not sure if PNB is still. I don't think they offer scholarships this year. Last time I checked, it was like 2023 was the last year that they offer a scholarship. I'm not sure if they do. But I can help with those companies as well because I received an offer from Kazana Hawatan, PNB, and I got KIV for Petronas. So if anyone has questions about the group interviews as well as the application essays, you can ask over to me. And I'll explain later about certain questions that you have. But for now, I just want to explain about my scholarship body. I'm under Young Talent Program MARA Scholarship. At least when I was applying, I did not have an interview for MARA. The reason why, because it was during the COVID. So during COVID, a lot of interviews are done online. And I think because MARA receives a lot of applicants and they also basically submits a lot of applicants in their sponsorship program. They didn't do an interview, at least for my year. So I think after that, they now have group interviews and they also have individual interviews. So I can't speak a lot about those topics because I was never interviewed by MARA. But I can explain some more about MARA. I think MARA is a solid program. I wouldn't say it's the best program out there. Seriously, I'm really not joking. It's not the best, but it works enough if you have specific ideas of where you want to go. So for example, at least for me, I wanted to go to the US, right? And I know other scholarship programs also offer the US, but usually they focus on the UK. So if you want to go to the United States, MARA offers a program. I don't think they offer it anymore. Actually, I have no idea. I think they don't, but they also offer one to Russia, I think, and they have several in Japan, in German. So if anyone wants like specific scholarship programs, I think Mara is the way to go because they usually focus on what you really, really want to. Like if you're really passionate about a certain subject, then you should go to Mara. But the problem is Mara doesn't accept uh every Malaysian. So I think they only accept Bumi Putra and Malay students, which I think is a bummer. But anyways, so I personally think Mara is not the best program. I'm not gonna say anything much about that, but it's not the best. It's good. It's really good. They really provide you with a lot of guidance. You need to struggle a lot actually, but at least they give you the basic idea of what you're gonna do in the US and stuff like that. Most of the time, me and my friends figure it out. I personally think they don't have like a solid background in like teaching students and like guiding in interviews or like in getting internships or stuff like that. I know other scholarship programs has a very strong foundation in teaching the scholarship holders about just the work culture in their company or just like how to apply for internships and research and stuff like that. So if you're more interested in like career improvement, then I definitely won't advise Mara because they definitely don't focus on that. They only focus on sending students to overseas. And it's not a bad thing either. I think it's also a good thing for some people who are searching for it. But if you're looking more on like work, having a job right out of college or just having a good career understanding of the work world, basically, I would advise you to check other scholarships because they definitely don't focus on that. All right. And I will be talking about application essays as well as group interviews. I have sent, I think, 5 application essays during because after SPM, I immediately applied for like 10 scholarships. Yes, apply as much as possible. I was rejected by almost all of them. So just apply so that you can increase your chances of getting a scholarship. You don't know if they're gonna accept you. I'm not even kidding. You don't know. You just try. If you think you're not like, oh, I don't think I can fit into just try. I'm not even kidding. Like, I've heard a lot of cases where people in like, for example, my friend in Petronas, he said that he didn't know how he got the scholarship because he felt that he was not like worth it, like he didn't deserve it. I don't know if that's just him talking or if that's actually the reality. But basically, if you think you don't deserve it, just apply. Like, do it. Don't think much. Just do it. Okay. Um, and also I'll be talking about application essays. I think I'm more suited to talking about that as well as group interviews because I have a lot of experience in that. You can also even like hit me up outside of this workshop if you want to. I can give you a link to my social media accounts. But yeah, that's all from me.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and also I don't know why it's a blackout here. And thanks for Hudai part. And yeah, I definitely agree with your opinions that just try every scholarship you can and you never know. Probably you are just the one that the scholarship awarding body that they are looking for. So you never know when you are going to success. So thank you so much. I will move on to Karu. Are you here?
Hi, can you
Hi.
hear me? Sure.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, wonderful. All right, well, hello everybody. It's a very good day today, and it's very nice to meet all of you all. Well, my name is Karu Julian, and I'm from Petaling Jaya, Selangor. I'm currently a first-year student pursuing computer science at Queen Mary, University of London, and also a proud scholar of the Securities Commission of Malaysia. So, to give you all some information about the Securities Commission, well, it's a statutory body that functions to serve as the authority in developing and maintenance of a secure, efficient, and orderly operations of the capital markets in Malaysia. It is a regulator and enforces its regulations to ensure the growth of capital market activities and market institutions within the financial sectors in Malaysia. Well, to give you all a very brief insight into this scholarship, they offer scholarships to both undergrads and postgrads. Additionally, it's a full scholarship, meaning that they will sponsor everything that you'd potentially pay for. Now, upon graduation and meeting their course requirements, you'll be subjected to being bonded with the Securities Commissions, depending on where you study and, of course, the length of your course. Because from what I remember, if you study internationally, you'll be subjected to 2 years of bonding per year for study. For example, my course is 3 years, which means I'll have to be bonded to them for 6 years upon graduation. However, if you study locally, right, it would be a shorter bonding period. Another thing to note is that you'll need to do an internship with them somewhere in between your course, either after your second or third year, and it would last around 10 to 12 weeks. Now, for the process, well, it's kicked off with an application where aspiring scholars would submit their application comprising of various details, including 2 essays about your applications and reasons to be sponsored. Subsequently, there would be a psychometric test, which would be followed by an individual phone interview. Well, mine was with the Senior General Manager of the Securities Commission. Then, if successful, you'd move on to a group case study session with other aspiring scholars. So there's a catch over there. But I will be sharing more about this specific stage later on during the session. Finally, if all goes well, you'd be invited to their headquarters itself in Bukit Damansara for your final interview. And mine was with 3 people, comprising of the Senior General Manager, Head of HR, and if I'm not mistaken, HOD from the front end department. Now, to talk about the competition for this scholarship, well, I don't have too many stats, to be honest with you, but the only thing I can say is that last year, there were only 4 successful scholars, but that only makes the challenge more interesting. And I've got to say, I'm really looking forward to sharing more insights later on during the session. And I'll primarily be sharing insights into the group interview session later on. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and I'll see you all in a bit.
Thank you, Carol, and thank you for your sharing. I will just move on to Pravina. Pravina is here with us.
Hello, can you guys
Hi.
hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Pravina, and I'm currently a first-year biochemical engineering student at UCL, and I'm a Yayasan Sabah scholar. So I will give a brief overview about this scholarship, but I will say that because I am from Sabah, it's very specific to me. So I would recommend that you check out your state scholarship. So like, for example, Yayasan Perak, Yayasan Kelantan, Yayasan Terengganu. So just keep an eye out for those. So with my scholarship, there are a bunch of scholarships under Yayasan Sabah basically. And the one I got, they sponsored me through my A-levels, and they don't really send you to a specific place. I think you can request to go to different A-level institutions. And for me, it was fully funded. And I believe I know someone who went to KYUEM under Yayasan Sabah as well, and he was fully sponsored. So I think you just have to like sort of let them know which institution you're interested in. And as of right now, I'm currently under a partial scholarship because it is the sponsorship money that they have given me is capped off at a certain value. But that's just for Yayasan Sabah specifically. I believe Yayasan Terengganu has a fully funded overseas scholarship. So which is why I think it's important you check out your state scholarships because they do have different different criterias and different eligibilities as well. Another thing about state scholarships is that with the eligibilities, I think for Yayasan Sabah, they kind of want both parents to be from Sabah. So I think that's something you have to like check off as well. But yeah, I do have I'll be speaking on the essay application segment later on. So yeah, I think that's all for me for right now.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Farina. Can I have the last one from Nabil? Yeah. It's Nabil with
All
us.
right. Hello. Can you guys
Hello.
hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, hello guys. It's good to see all of you. My name is Nabil Jeffrey. You guys can call me Nabil. I'm a first year student studying economics and sociology at University of Manchester, and I'm a recipient of Mara Scholarship under Young Talent Development Program. The same one, just like Huzaifa said. So, as you guys heard earlier, to what Huzaifa has present, it's basically that's all for Young Talent Development Program. But actually, in Mara, we do have other types of scholarship, such as okay, the first one is the Young Talent Development Program, and then we do have World Top University, which is called as WTU, and the grad program. Grad program is basically the Graduate Excellence Program, basically for the student who completed their degree and would like to pursue their master in top world university. So talking about Mara scholarship, I would say like I don't know, but based on my personal experience, I do have a different experience from Huzaifa because I'm studying in UK, but and I think based on what Mara have given to me personally, I think it is enough for me to have like a comfortable life here, I would say. So yeah, I think I came from the same batch as Huzaifa, so I don't have interview for this particular scholarship, but I do have friends that went through the interview program for this Mara scholarship, and yeah, let me tell you guys what he told me about. He said that in Mara interview they were placed like peoples per group, and then they would have like two types of interview, which is the first one, the group interview, and then the individual interview. So for the group interview, um you guys are asked to prepare and present a specific case study. Yeah, so basically it's all about the teamwork and presenting the stuff that they want you to prepare. And then for the interview, it's basically more or less about the intention of why you would like to join Mara scholarship, or why you would like to pursue your studies in the UK. So yeah, I'm talking about my personal program, which is Young Talent Development Program. The difference between Young Talent Development Program and World Top University is the amount of exposure, I would say, that we got, because in Young Talent Development Program, we can apply it as soon as we completed our SPM. So yeah, we're applying YTP with our SPM result, while the World Top University Program, WTU, we're going to apply this after we finish our foundation in Malaysia, such as Asasi, diploma, or if you did A-level or IB. So yeah, that's the difference. But you still both will sponsor you to pursue your degree in the UK. So as for the Young Talent Development Program, Mara has our own institution in Malaysia, which is called College Mara Banting for international baccalaureate, and also College Mara Seremban for specifically for A-level. And we have also other institutions as well, like College Mara Kulim or College Mara Kuala Nerang for other different types of studies for you to pursue. And yeah, for YTP, it's not only sponsoring you to go study overseas like UK, US, but it also sponsors you to study locally in other courses such as medicine, pharmacy, or even engineering. So yeah, just like the other scholarship like Bank Negara and Petronas, Mara also do have their own specific requirement that you need to achieve in your foundation studies in order for you to pursue your degree for the next level. So for Mara, you need to like have you need to achieve like 35 over 45 IB points for those who like to do IB. And then for who's doing Asasi or diploma, you guys need to achieve like at least 3.6, if I'm not mistaken, the CGPA. And then aside from that, you need to also achieve 13 over 15 points for A level. Yeah. So I think that's all for now. But if you guys have any other question later, you guys can just hit me up. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you all for for all the speakers. Thank you very much. And I will just give you guys a very brief sum up from all the speakers. Like first of all, beside corporate scholarship, we do have the university scholarship that you guys can looking for. For example, like what Chiyong and Semenda share about Warwick Scholarship and the Tunku Abdul Rahman Scholarship. So please do your own research on the university that you are looking for to study, so that you don't miss that opportunity. Also, we also have like some scholarship awarding bodies such as BPMB, Security Commission, which they are probably not so well known like Petronas, Mara, but this keep an eye on their website and apply for it. They are also a very good organization for you to work on, I would say. And also, like from what our speakers share about, every scholarship do have their own pros and cons. So do your own comparisons, and also before you accept the offer. I guess speakers, every speaker have shared about very detailed introduction about their scholarship program. So we will just move on to some general question that we have now. Like I think a lot of people will think about is the grades like matter a lot for scholarship application. Do they only look at your academic result? Is anything else that matter to the scholarship awarding body also? What are they looking for? So perhaps one of our speaker can share your insight about it.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, maybe I can share a bit from my
Yeah.
side about my scholarship. I'm not sure about others, but for the Tunku scholarship from Cambridge, they just require you to secure an offer of admission. Yeah, that's the only thing. So the great things is that you don't have to worry too much about your grades. As long as you get an offer, I think you are close to getting a scholarship lah. Yeah, so not a big concern lah for Tunku Abdul Rahman scholarship, as long as just get an offer to Cambridge.
Right. So from my personal experience, I would say academic result is not that important as long as you already, like what Cheung said, you already secure the offer from the university. That means it in certain level, it means that you are good enough in academic. So they are looking for the candidates that are more comprehensive and also active at extracurricular. So if you are looking for to apply to a scholarship, please make sure you are also active at extracurricular. For example, you can do some volunteer jobs, or just like volunteer in any NGO and to show them that you are good enough to not only good in study but also good in other stuff. So I think we will focus on interview now. probably someone can share on what do you think is the most important aspect that they are looking for in an interview, and what is your experience with that, and what is your one piece of advice for those that are going to attend an interview? So probably Amiru, you can share this. Or Amiru, are you here?
Yeah, sorry. I went out for a sec. Thanks,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, sure.
So is this for the group interview?
Yeah. So what was your experience with that, and what is your one piece of advice for those applicants?
For the ones who are doing group interviews?
Yeah.
So my one advice is be well prepared. I know it's a very cliche advice for everyone, but try to do something that anyone else doesn't even think of doing. Like for example, I did 3 group interviews during my time. So for the online group interviews, like for Sam Darby and for Mara, especially for Sam Darby, I prepared a template for slides so that when we were given a time to discuss, I propose that I already have a slides template for us to like put into. So it shows how dedicated I am in preparing for it. And another advice I would say is that not only that it's important for you to outshine everyone else during the interview, but also when you are in the waiting room as well, because you should show that you are very outgoing. Try to ask the individuals in the room, the ones who are you are interviewing with, the ones who are bringing you to the room. Be friendly with everyone. Showcase that you are very friendly and you are very approachable to everyone. That's my tips. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Probably Karu, can you share about you did a case study interview?
Yes,
You
yes.
do, yeah. Probably you can share about that. How does a case study interview look like, workshop look like? Yeah.
You mean the process, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's normally kicked off with an introduction, okay? So usually the candidates will introduce themselves very briefly, sharing their backgrounds, interests, and motivations. All right. And then the interviewers, because there'll be like there'll be a panel of interviewers over there. So they would normally explain the occasion and the processes. Like they will provide the case studies and also explain the tasks and procedures. Then after that is when the group discussion takes place. So the candidates would engage in discussions based on the case studies or the scenarios provided by the interviewers. So these case studies, right, may represent real-world challenges relevant to the scholarship or program. Or actually, it could be anything. It's very subjective. It really depends on the interviewers themselves. All right. And that would be followed by the collaborative case studies. So candidates would have to work together to analyze and solve case studies. So this is the catch I was talking about earlier, because like it's competitive, right? You are competing with other aspiring scholars, but at the same time you all have to work together. So it's difficult to outshine the other candidates without actually focusing on it, because you are supposed to work together with the other candidates, right? And in the meantime, you are supposed to demonstrate your problem solving, analytical, and decision making skills. And like this can potentially be followed by a presentation or two, depending on the tasks, right? And then there would be a Q&A session So the interviewers may pose questions to individual candidates or the group as a whole to evaluate their skills and whatnot. And finally, there usually be closing remarks. So the candidates may have the opportunity to summarize key points, address any remaining questions, or even provide feedback before the session concludes. But what I would say as a whole, right, for strategies for the aspiring scholars is that make sure you show passion, like you be passionate throughout the whole session itself, because usually during this case study session, there would be around four participants probably. All right. Okay. I mean, in my case, there were 4 people there working together. So I would say throughout the whole session, which could be over an hour, make sure you are showing passion, right? And by showing passion, what I mean is that you actively participate, okay, actively engage in the discussions to show your interest and skills. Also, please do demonstrate leadership. And what I mean by leadership in this case is that it's not just about taking charge, but also about facilitating collaboration, guiding discussions, and also fostering a positive group dynamic. All right. Additionally, I would say collaborate effectively. Okay, make sure to acknowledge and validate others' contributions by probably paraphrasing their points and building on them to actually deepen the discussion. So, for instance, if a teammate suggests a creative solution to a problem, you could commend their idea and creativity. Okay, and also offer additional insights, because these are the kinds of things which the interviewers are looking out for. They would be there in the background throughout the whole session, listening to the team discuss their ideas and everything. Even though you are not talking to the interviewers, you are still discussing between yourselves. I mean, yeah, between yourselves, and the interviewers would be observing all these things. So please make sure to actually be mindful of all these things. And then I would say be authentic. So please, like, you could share personal experiences that illustrate your passion for the subject matter or your commitment to making a positive impact during the session. And another key tip would be to actively listen to others' perspectives. All right. Pay close attention to what others are saying without interrupting or judging. So you could demonstrate your engagement by nodding. Yeah, nodding itself works. All right. So by making affirmative gestures, all right. It simply shows respect for others' contributions and also really encourages a more inclusive and productive discussion. Lastly, I would say be confident and stay calm. So maintain good posture. Please remember to make eye contact. Don't shy off too much, all right? And speak clearly and assertively, right? If you encounter challenges or disagreements during the discussion, just remain composed and focus on finding constructive solutions. Yeah. That's about it for now.
Thank you, Karen. I believe that group interviews it can be quite new to applicants because they might have like individual interviews experience before in their students in back in their high school experience, but group interviews might be quite new for them. So conclude from what our speakers have shared just now, I would say that these sessions basically just aim to see how you react with the group, your teamwork, and how you work under peer pressure. So just calm, like what Carol shared just now, just calm and try to engage more. And yeah, basically it's just something like this. So I will move on to individual interview in this case. So perhaps someone can share how do you prepare for your individual interview? Like what kind of question? Oh, just now, like Jocelyn already shared, she prepared for behavioral questions and also some technical question. So beside the questions, how do you prepare for that? Like do you do your own like interview, something like that, mock interview? So probably someone can share this. So Jeffrey, I will free to share this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So as for individual interview, I think the most important thing for you guys to prepare in advance is basically the background or the information about the sponsors that you are aiming to apply to. For example, Petronas or BNM or Sam Darby or Maybank. So yeah, just go to their website or any other platform and
Sorry, I think someone.
Yeah, okay. So you guys can I'm so sorry. You
Yeah.
guys can go to those platforms and study about the background about what the company do, what are their objectives, what are their aims, and that point you guys can use it in your interview process to like gain attention from them. It's like so that they would think like, oh, these applicants have the same vision or the same aspiration as this company does. And yeah, it's a plus point for you guys to be accepted as well. So yeah.
Yeah, great. So let's say for individual interview, can we say that for everything, for every session, do your own research is the key, is absolutely the key. You need to know the company well in case every question that they ask you, you can answer well. I think it benefits you also because if you got the scholarship in the future, you're gonna work with them. So do your own research on that company, see if what they do fits your mission or not, fits your value or not. So I think we can move on to our application essay tips. Probably Pravina, can you share what do you what do you include in your application essay before for your scholarship application?
So in terms of application essays, I think the like something you would want to keep in mind is how your past experiences kind of relate to the field that you kind of want to go into. So if you're, let's say you want to do engineering, for example. So if you have any like internship experience or just like any volunteering experience, just experience in general, kind of relating to the specific field of engineering or engineering in general, you would want to put that in. So basically, I think the biggest tip that I could give you for application essays is to sort of show your passion in the field that you're applying for. And one of the things I was worried about as well is like what if like I don't have as much activities as other people, because you do have to sort of like keep in mind that it doesn't, not to say that it doesn't matter, but I think with a lot of like experiences, some of it does come from maybe you just weren't lucky or you weren't in a position, not at the right place, right time, basically, sort of like that sort of situation. So if you don't have anything like in terms of experience that you can put in to your essay, you could also like sort of just talk about sort of, if it's a field you're interested in, obviously you would have done research, right? Like sort of like done your own like research based on new technologies in that field. So just you can put in like, oh, I saw that this was something that is developing in the field and I'm interested in that. So just sort of explore, just show them what you're passionate about. And yeah, So I think just like make sure you show what you're, show how you're interested in the field and show how you want to apply that to the field, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you for sharing. So I think that's we cover quite a lot for the tips. So is there any question from our audience? So if you have any question, just feel free to unmute your mic or leave it in the chat so that we can. So, okay. So we have a question from Kiswan. Hello, I would like to ask for, she would like to ask, I'm sorry, for advice. Okay, Kiswan has a problem where, sorry, he's their IS results are not very strong, and they are currently preparing for their A2 exam. So anyone could suggest that will recommend them to apply for scholarship despite the high level of competition. Do you think that do our speakers think that they still hold a chance to get a scholarship in the case of AS result is not so good?
I think I can answer that.
Yeah.
So I think that most importantly, when it comes to deciding between your academic and then choosing like other paths, for example, like scholarship, right? So because like it at the end it also depends on you yourself, because for me A2 results are so important when it comes to university, especially because when it comes to UK universities, they've already put like a specific grades that you need to achieve. So for me, grades are so important at that time because it will determine either you will get admitted into that university or not. But at the same time, if you are really, because if you're not in a really good financial background, it's also important for you to apply for scholarships, because you know that the fees, all the fees, and also all the allowances for you to live there abroad is also very high, especially compared to Malaysian currency and also the GBP currency. And at the same time, because the international student fees are also different from the local student fees. And that's why I think that scholarships are so important as well, especially if you're not from a very good financial background, your family. And yeah, but but then at the same time, you must know what, I think you know yourself better, so that you know which one are you struggling the most, either to find a way to find money for you to fund your fees, or for you to learn and study and also to keep up with your academic. But then deep down, I think that it is, I think like maybe you can try to balance between both of it, because I know that scholarships are also super important. At the same time, keeping up your grades are also super important, because even but then somehow I think you need to focus more on the academic side, because these scholarship bodies, they also look for someone who have good academic background. So that's why you need to have good grades as well. But then at the same time, you also need to make sure that all this application process, it comes side by side, it comes together with your academic preparation. Yeah. So I think that it needs to be balanced out, both of it, but at the same time give more focus on the academic, because the academic will affect your admittance into those universities, and at the same time it will affect your academic requirement for scholarship application purposes. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe this answer have is quite well rounded. And so we have a follow-up question from someone. So they want to know about the scholarship for post SPM. How does it look like? So do you use to apply use your predicted grades to apply or actual grades to apply for it. So I remember, Amiru, you said you apply after SPM, right? So perhaps you can answer this question.
Yeah, sure. Can I have the question again?
Yeah. Do you use your predicted grades to apply or actual grades?
Actually both. For most scholarships, they would like to have your ES levels, and I would like to have your predicted as well. So try to ask your lecturers later on and just give your predicted A levels. So yeah.
So how does the application process look like? Because you apply after SPM, right? So
Yeah.
you apply during your A-level study or
Yes.
after your A-level?
So I applied during my A levels. So during my semester 3, I started to look up some scholarships and stuff. So the process comprises of like application essay, the form, and then psychometric test, and then interview one, and then interview one is more like case studies and so on. And then the last group interview is with the CEO of the company or the bank. So yeah.
All right, perfect. So we have a question. Let's say this candidate SPM result is not that strong and not eligible for the scholarship. If I'm not mistaken, the minimum requirement for scholarship usually will be minimum 7 A's in SPM. So they are asking opinions on should they go to diploma or private uni for A levels in that case. But
You want me to
yeah,
answer?
anyone can answer. If you have the answer, you can. Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, some of my friends did diploma and she's here doing their degree with a scholarship. One is with under WTU and another one is with BPMB. Depends on which preference you would like to go. If you have a lot of funds, go on ahead, do A levels, because A levels is more outreaching to its more companies. It's more acceptable. For scholarships are more open towards A levels, in comparison with diploma. But yeah, just go on ahead because A levels is much more fast paced in comparison with diploma. So do take that into consideration. So yeah.
Thank you. So anyone else has more questions to ask? All right. So if no, I believe that we covered a lot in this session, and I hope this session is this workshop is benefit for all of you. And also, we have a good news that we are launching a new scholarship mentorship program that we have a list of mentors, past scholar, to have one-on-one, one-to-one mentorship programs, a list of mentors that join our mentorship program. They couldn't join us today, but they will be on our website. The list will be on our website. So just keep an eye on it, and we will release the sign-up form soon on our social media. Sorry, we have one more question. For application essay, will you advise them to use simple language or bombastic language? Do you think there will be necessary for them to use bombastic language in order to stand out? Yeah, anyone can answer this.
I think I can answer that question.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for application essays, I would say you should definitely employ like languages that are basically use verbs that don't like overdo it, but at the same time do use like creative basically creative words or words that you don't necessarily see, but don't like find synonyms online and do stuff like that. It's a dumb way to do that. But for me, what's important is you need to be very creative and personal while writing the essay. as for me, when I was applying for Kazana, my opening was about how I have like my mom has like 5 phones. Like I think it was throughout my childhood, she changed her phones 5 times. And like the first phone was we called it Sabon, and like I talk about how it looked like a bar of soap, and then I changed it into a more sleek or like a better smartphone and stuff like that. And I related it to how computer science is the major that I wanted. So even though you are still being creative, you're still being unique and personal to your own style. At the same time, relate back to the question or to your major or to what your scholarship bodies want from you. So don't, if you want to be creative, go ahead, but please do keep in mind that the essay questions are more important. So be creative while still answering those questions. And put a lot of personal experiences as well as achievements to showcase that you are um how would I say, you are someone who are flexible and someone who's very committed to the scholarship, basically.
Perfect. So,
Actually, could I
Yeah.
add on to what Huzaifa said? Yeah, I do agree with most with what he said. I think yeah, just keep in for me personally, I think you should just not necessarily like stray away from bombastic language, but if you use it, make sure you don't use it in a way where it sounds like uh if someone's reading it, it sounds like it's not written by a human, if that makes sense. I think personalization is good, and with while also employing like those like whatever creative writing techniques that you usually use in terms of like your academia and stuff. So yeah, I think that's all from me.
So, Pramila, would you like to take this question also? Um, will you advise it to show that you are in line with the values of the scholarship provider, or show your personality and passion for your degree? Do you think that is important?
I think it is important to show that you are in line with the values of the scholarship provider, but I think you should emphasize more on your personality and your passion, because I think that is what they want to see at the end of the day. Because I'm sure if you already have an interest for the degree, you sort of already have values that align with what the scholarship provider wants. So yeah, I would say focus more on the personality and passion part.
Perfect. So, before we end this sharing session,
Sorry,
anyone?
Darren. Can I add on to
Yeah,
the
sure.
essay? I think it's also very important for you to write like how can you contribute. I mean, instead of aligning to the company's value, you can show like how you could contribute to the company, because in the end of the day, I mean, this is more like a corporate scholarship essay, but in the end of the day, they will want to employ you as an employee. So just show like what kind of values. I mean, most of the corporate values would want to contribute to the society, and that's also very important that if you're right, you could contribute to the company. Indirectly, you will show your values are aligning with the company, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. Just do more research about the company and include and integrate your own value and their value and see how it fits to the essay. So, I can see one piece of advice from Huzaifa to everyone: don't use ChatGPT for your application essay. Yeah, that's true, because they will know if you use it. So just try to write it by yourself, and just don't use any AI to help for your whole essay. So, anyone else has any question? I know that someone left your question in our in the sign up form, but all right, that's the thing. We have a booklet scholarship application booklet for all of you guys. So we have included all the tips inside the booklet. So we have answer the question that you asked in the sign up form in the booklet itself. So please do scan the QR code to get your copy. And also, please follow our Instagram CollegeLAH to get more to make sure that you keep update with our upcoming events, or you can just Google it CollegeLAH, and we have the list of mentor that is available for our mentorship program. Yeah. Is there anyone got any problem to access to the booklet itself? Thank you, Karu. Yeah, anyone here looking to apply for postgraduate program, just raise your virtual hand. All right, if okay, anyone care to share about beside financial what are the advantage of being a successful scholar, and what are the some fun things about the scholarship journey? Anyone wants to share about that? We have 2 more minutes to end the session. So any funny things like for your scholarship application process, or the thing that you enjoy being a scholar beside financial assistance?
Oh, I could do a quick one.
Yeah.
I would say, as a scholar, I would say successful lah, but like as a scholar, it will definitely broaden your network, like especially if you attend to events, and also like in KYUM itself, because KYUM it's a school, literally like most of the students are from different scholarship bodies. It's actually expand your network, that you get to know a lot of people, like especially they're so amazing. They're having those amazing achievements that you can also have exclusive opportunities under these networks. And also I would say um the benefit is not only financial, but also network to the company itself, because you get to attend the company's events also. I mean, all in all, it's just like expanding your network. And also, I mean, in general, as a student studying abroad, of course, you get to travel and stuff. It's the exclusive opportunity, I would say. But all in all, it's not only the advantages, there's also disadvantages, that you need to maintain your grades, and you go through like all of the stress, and studying for your your exams, or having your UCAT application. So it's not about like only the good side, it's also the bad side. So make sure you do a lot of research on the scholarship, whether the pros and cons, and yeah, it's a contract for you if you have a scholarship. So yeah, it's a big life decision.
Yeah, perfect. I think this is a very good question to close to end our session. So thank you all for joining us today. I hope you guys will learn something from the speakers and wish you all have a very smooth sailing for your application process. I would say this is definitely not a very easy journey, and just try and you will get someone, hopefully you will get something that you want. Yeah, so you are free to leave if you want. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you, Kairu. Thank you for your help. And so sorry if I previously I like just overlook your message or what. Because
Oh, no, no.
I was quite busy. like mm,
That's
yeah.
fine. I mean, I get it. I think,
But
you know,
thanks for your help. It's really useful. Thank you.
yeah, no worries. Thank you very much. I'll
Thank
probably see
you.
you next time, right?
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.